Okay. Hang on. Hold your horses. We're here. We're live. We're running a little bit behind. Guys, getting older kind of sucks. The whole thing started. I've made 3 trips up and down the stairs here in the last 5 minutes. It all started because I had to pee. So I went downstairs, right, to go pee. And while I was down there, I was like, oh, I should clean my glasses real quick. So I set my glasses down to wipe them out. I went pee. And then I came all the way back up here. Got all the way back up here. Realized that I forgot my glasses. Went back downstairs. Remembered while I was on my way down there to grab ourselves a can of lip pillows. Grabbed my glasses. Started all the way back up here. Got all the way back up here. Was about to go live when I realized I didn't have my lip pillows. Back downstairs we go. And around and around and around the merry-go-round I go. Hooray. Huzzah! How are you doing, everybody? Good morning. It is December 16th, 2025, which means it's Tuesday, which means we are close to the ever-elusive hump day. And once we hit hump day, well, it's just a couple of hip thrusts down around the slaloms and into the weekend with another slate of entertaining NFL football. Still kind of a little negative Nancy after yesterday, not going to lie, guys. Not quite sure what we're going to do yet. Still a little irritated about the whole chicanery. And it's kind of difficult to be a fan of the NFL when you have product like this. Cris Collinsworth faces scrutiny for mentions of Cowboys players. Self-deletion. That's right. Neyland. Remember Marshawn Neyland? Western Michigan Bronco. A second-round pick of the Dallas Cowboys a year or so ago. I remember he is no longer with us as of back in November. A couple days after scoring his first career NFL touchdown, right? Come to find out he had some demons in his closet that he'd been dealing with for quite some time. But leave it to old butt-face Cris Collinsworth. There he is. There he is. There is the face of a man who just exudes confidence when that guy, when Beaker from the Muppets starts talking. Don't you just feel like you are just surrounded by competence and a level of expertise, deep knowledge, a true love and appreciation for Patrick Mahomes. I mean for the game. You know what I'm saying? You just get this completely unbiased take. There is no one player or team that he thinks is better than any one other player or team. Cris Collinsworth, just the embodiment of professionalism in the NFL. Oh, wait, I'm sorry. Cris Collinsworth is a turd, and he's damn near everything wrong with the NFL. So, of course, Cris Collinsworth went out there and promptly decided to take his foot and shove it ankle deep in his own mouth during the Cowboys and Minnesota Queenies game. We'll go ahead and talk about that. Then we're going to, the controversies. It never ends with the Detroit Lions. It never ends, and meme becomes reality until proven otherwise. It will, and for always, all time, forever and ever be Detroit versus everybody. It must be nice. It must be nice to have so many extra men on the field. And, there is going to come a time, because over the past few years, the Lions have been succeeding, even in the face of adversity, even overcoming the odds of the NFL putting a thumb, a finger, and now a whole hand on the scale to tip it in favor of an inferior team, a substandard product. But, well, L.A., we love L.A. We love L.A. Did you guys know? Very interesting fun fact. Before Matt Stafford became an LA Ram, he didn't know how to throw a fucking pass. He didn't know how to play quarterback. Did you know he was apparently throwing left-handed in Detroit this whole time because he didn't know what to do? But once Matt Stafford arrived in sunny Los Angeles, where Holly weird is at, and all of the media outlets, or basically stationed, well, all of a sudden, Matt Stafford, that guy looks like he probably could have been a number 1 overall pick. But while he was in Detroit, no. Incompetent, at worst, a boob at best. But once he went out to sunny LA, so they cannot allow LA to falter. And it's not. But you know what? The reality is the calls of the game, it's not like it was just a one-score game that had that any bad calls had any impact on the game whatsoever. But the Detroit Lions will contact the league for whatever good that's going to do about the controversial Rams call. We'll be honest, it's good. Yay. Hooray. You go ahead and contact the league. A lot of good that's going to do. What happened the last time we did that? What happened the last time the Lions contacted the league? The audio is weird. What you talking about? The audio is crackling. Oh.
Is that better? Is that a little bit better? I've been having some connection issues with stuff, guys. Is that clearer? Do we scoop on how Nealon went out? Angelo, yeah, he offed himself in, I believe, a porta-john. My voice sounds higher, much better. Yeah, so I've been having some issues with my connections. Yesterday, I was trying to use my headphones, and I was getting a crazy... It was almost like my headphones had its own version of tinnitus. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so Angelo, yeah, he deleted himself, I believe, in a porta-john after, I think he crashed his car and then ran. So that's what ended up going out with Nealon. I sounded like a drunk chipmunk. Well, that's what we like to hear, dude. You guys, as you know, we're not the most professional organization around here. So I do appreciate the heads up on that. But as we were saying, a lot of good this is going to do, because the league cannot and will not ever admit any fault or wrongdoing. The best you will get is, we're sorry you feel that way, but the refs made the right call. That's what we'll be told. The refs made the right call. And we could do a whole investigation into this if we want, but what's the point? What's the point? The reality is that and we as Detroit Lions fans know this, that if you want to be a successful organization in the 3-1-3, you have insurmountable odds to overcome year after year after year. And God damn it, if you have one crumb of success, oh, you're going to make it to the number 1 seed in the NFC playoffs with 900 players on IR. Okay. Oh, that's cute. Colby Parkinson's going to catch a touchdown from the 1-yard line where he never maintained possession and didn't cross the penetrate the goal line, but we're going to call that a touchdown then. You're going to go ahead and rub it in our faces that masculine values and meritocracy prevail, that all you got to do is outwork, outgrind, outthink your opponent, and you will be successful in the NFL. You fool. We write the script. We write the narration. We tell you who's going to win and who's going to lose. We predetermine, we ordain the team of legend well before any games are played. And how dare you, Dan Campbell? How dare you play this barbaric style? This antiquated form of football. You're gonna outwork another team? You're gonna be more physical? You're gonna put a hat on a man and bully? You're gonna bully the other team? No. Nope, can't have it. Can't have that. Can't have that. It was cute. You made it to the number 1 seed last year with 175,000 players on IR. That's cute. That's cute. Okay, well, hope you had your fun, Dan Campbell. Hope you enjoyed your little bit of flash in the pan, because it's over. And we refuse to let you beat us in that manner. Now, the LA game, what was happening? Well, the LA game, and this is a speculation I had, with the NFL going and putting that particular touchdown play on the thumbnail for the highlights from the Rams-Lions game, that was them rubbing our noses in it. Why? Why do you ask? Well, it's very simple. Because Dan Campbell and the gang, well, they were rubbing the NFL's noses in it. They went directly into L.A. with Sean McVay, the golden boy. And he's a twink. I mean, let's be honest. Sean McVay, he's fruitier than Fruity Pebbles, right? He's clearly a twink, you know. They could not allow him to look bad. Thinning hairline, refusal to mature into a modern-day haircut, thinning hairline, wearing them faggy-ass high waters. And Matt Stafford. Well, Matt Stafford's in commercials with Kelly Stafford, and they show their big, goofy fucking white teeth, and they are a brand. Kelly Stafford will make sure that you're a brand. And I'm willing to bet that she is more than happy to go directly into Roger Goodell's office, drop down on her knees, and give her that hawk to and spit on that thing, because she's a whore and willing to do anything to further advance her own self-interest, whether that be Matt Stafford's team or not. Kelly Stafford comes first, so they are the L.A. Kelly Staffords, and the powers that be will make sure that Matt Stafford, who never knew how to throw a pass, never could, like I said, he was blindfolded trying to throw it left-handed backwards. Every pass before he went to L.A. Once he went to L.A., now, I don't know who was feeding Megatron, first ballot Hall of Famer. No mention. No, couldn't have been Matt Stafford, no, because he didn't know what he was doing until he went to L.A. And once he went to L.A., and then as soon as Jared Goff left L.A., you're leaving Los Angeles, you will not be successful. There's no way. You're a journeyman. You're a bridge quarterback. You are not a former number 1 overall pick who led a team to a Super Bowl, be it on the back of Todd Gurley's and at the expense of Todd Gurley's knees. No. Jared Goff cannot be successful. There's no possible way. Wait a minute. Now, you just wait a gosh dang minute. How is it that Jared Goff is statistically one of the best quarterbacks in the league? He's playing in Detroit. Their number 1 wide receiver is a 4th-round draft pick. Now, we will do everything in our power to make sure that Jameson Williams is suppressed and repressed in the league, be it injury, which is no fault of anybody's, but gambling. We will make sure that Jameson Williams is given every opportunity to get in trouble off the field. Wait a minute. Why is Jameson Williams maturing? How is it that Brad Holm took a college wide receiver, converted him into, well, not converted, but continued his conversion after 1 year of playing defense in college into statistically one of the best safeties to ever play the game? How is this possible? We do not approve of this. You were supposed to take Micah Parsons. You were supposed to take Jamar Chase. You were supposed to take a flashy player with your first pick, Brad Holmes. And you took Penei Sewell? No. That is a smart team move. That player was supposed to go to a fundamentally sound program, not the Detroit Lions. Why are you winning? How are you winning? We will not tolerate this. You mean you set a record for the most people to turn up at a draft in the Motor City? How is this possible? You scourge, you swine. And the NFL hates it. So you can go ahead and send this call all you want. You can ask the league about it all you want. And all you're going to get is Roger Goodell sending you a picture of his dick. That's all you're going to get. We will then also talk about Lions injuries news, as there is a little, look, I'm going to be real. The way this season is shook out with injury news amongst the Detroit Lions players, I don't like the offered an update on the hand injury, and it's good news. Is it good news? Because I've heard good news about TA. I heard good news about Kirby Joseph. I've heard good news about Sam Laporta. And every single time that anybody says it's good news, tomorrow you're going to turn on, you're going to piss straight on my face. So I'm not going to put too much credibility in it, but we will skim that before heading into a slightly new direction. It's time to talk NFL draft. If we're going to continue this channel, I need to salvage my sanity and switch up what we're talking about, something maybe we can speculate on the draft. But Arch Manning makes a decision on 2026 NFL draft. That's right, one of the most, hyped up prospects. I don't know, guys. Is Arch Manning all that good? Is he that good? And to that point, is he going to be able to break what has seemed to be the standard operating procedure of young NFL quarterbacks taking longer than what we have seen in years past to develop into a professional quarterback. Well, we will see. What could it be? What could it be now? And then while we're talking draft, well, let's go ahead and take a peruse down. A to Z Sports has 7-round Detroit Lions 2026 NFL mock draft. It's incredibly clear how this draft needs to go. With all that we know, the Lions' rebuild offensive line looks really good after this 2026 NFL mock draft. I have not even skimmed this at all, but everybody's high on the offensive line. And I'm just getting kind of tired of us repeating the same stuff time after time after time after time. And yes, I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And the program has been turned around from where we were when Brad Yakub Brain Holmes took over. However, Terrion Arnold on IR. Enos Rakestraw, well, he's never even seen the regular season this year, and very, very small amounts of it his rookie year, right? So, not saying they're a bust, but they're not even gradable, right? Couple of swings there. Tyleek Williams, yeah, okay, I'll take it or leave it. But we want the ends, right? We need offensive linemen. What the hell is going on? Now, yeah, Mahogany and Frazier have been surprises, but time to stop trying to outthink everybody, right? Yes, Jahmyr Gibbs was confusing at the time, but we now know that that was the smartest move probably any GM could have made in that situation. But we, I think Brad Holmes needs to stop outthinking himself. I think he's overcomplicating things, and he just needs to KISS. If you guys could go ahead and do me a solid, subscribe to the channel if you're new, ring that notification bell, subscribe to the channel, like the video, share it around, do all the stuff. We're going to roll this while I load us in, and then we'll get into the show.
If you can say the word good, guess what? It means you're still alive. It means you're still breathing. And if you're still breathing, well, then hell, you still got some fight left in you. So get up, dust off, reload, recalibrate, re-engage, and go out on the attack.
All right, boys and girls, old Cris Collinsworth, old buttface McGee himself, is in scrutiny for mentions of Cowboys player during the Cowboys and Minnesota game. NFL broadcaster Cris Collinsworth faced scrutiny. Comments he made during the Cowboys season as they fell to the Minnesota Queens on Sunday night. Collinsworth made repeated mentions of the suicide of defensive lineman Marshawn Kneeland. During the game, he brought it up when talking about the team's struggles overall and the trade of Micah Parsons to the Green Bay Packers. Look at that stupid. Just doesn't he just look like a bird? Just like a bird, man. Not even like a Harvey bird, man. Just a bird, man. There he is, old Birdie McGee, Cris Collinsworth. He's gonna hunt and peck on the keyboard. You know that motherfucker can't type. He mentions Kneeland's death at least twice during the broadcast. NFL fans who turned into the game were quick to jump on Collinsworth for the mention. Shout out Lindsay Lulu View. Did Collinsworth just compare player suicide this year to Mahomes getting hurt today? Yes, well, I would imagine so. That sounds like something Cris Collinsworth would do. Does not make the most amount of sense. Cris Collinsworth is a Mahomes stand, and anytime he can connect anything, he could be sitting there watching paint dry and go, oh, this reminds me of the time I watched Patrick Mahomes. And it's like, Jesus Christ. There's no reason for Collinsworth to mention Kneeland's death like that. No, there's not. I always dislike Cris Collinsworth for glazing of Mahomes, but comparing his death to Kneeland, or comparing the death of Marshawn Kneeland to Mahomes tearing his ACL is disgusting. That's to put it lightly, my guy. You can see people were kind of pissed, and justifiably so. I mean, this kind of ties directly into everything that we've been saying. Kneeland died by suicide on November 6th, from what authorities in Texas said was a self-inflicted gunshot wound. Before he died, Kneeland led the police on a 160-mile-an-hour chase and a frantic search. Officials said pursuing officers didn't initially know it was Kneeland behind the wheel of the vehicle, thinking it was a stolen car pursuit. After Kneeland crashed the vehicle and abandoned it, officers learned the suspect was Kneeland. The NFL player's family and friends feared he was going to hurt himself as he sent text messages telling them goodbye. That's right. We are deeply saddened, blah, blah, blah. Okay, yeah, so we know all this. It's just a little rehashing of Marshawn Kneeland. But isn't this just like exactly par for the fucking course of the NFL. I mean, I talked about it last week how as soon as the Chiefs lost and were eliminated from the playoffs, well, we got to drum up hype and we have to keep the media train around the Kansas City Chiefs going. And they started, Patrick Mahomes made a allusion to Travis Kelce possibly retiring with some very just vanilla statement, something about how I cherish the time we play together. And it's like, okay, that's a big old nothing burger, but they got to keep Patrick Mahomes' name, the Chiefs in the forefront of the NFL because he is one of the golden boys, and they have to keep winning lest people start digging into Andy Reid's family history, and you end up finding out that Andy Reid is a dirty, corrupt motherfucker, and his son killed some people, and Andy Reid used his wealth and influence to help cover it up. But the Chiefs have to stay relevant, and Cris Collinsworth is going to do everything in his power to make sure that he mentions Patrick Mahomes, God damn it, that is the second time this week I have dropped my fucking phone. Give me a second. Ugh. Go, gadget arms, you long monkey-armed motherfucker. Hell yeah, we got the monkey arms, fellas. We got them long-ass arms, dude. My wingspan is longer than I am tall. Let's absolutely go. All right, sorry about that. So my point being is that Cris Collinsworth having to bring up Patrick Mahomes, it must be absolutely devastating. I bet Patrick Mahomes feels the exact same way that Marshawn Nealon's family felt when he killed himself, and Patrick Mahomes is laying in a hospital bed with a surgically repaired knee. I bet he feels exactly the same because these things are exactly the same. Really? You fucking asshole? What a fuck? What? Like, look, okay. All right. So this is what needs to happen. NBC needs to come out and look, there needs to be an option. Cris Collinsworth can be given the option. You publicly apologize, you grovel to the American people, and you do not mention Patrick Mahomes in your apology or in any fucking broadcast for the rest of the season. It's not hard. There's not a lot of them, and he's not even fucking playing. So shut the fuck up, take his cock out of your mouth, and talk about anything else, you ignorant bird-looking bastard, all right? 2, you have the option, Cris Collinsworth. You can do this, and then you can retire at the end of the season from broadcasting, and we can set you in a little rocking chair with a blanket over you, and you and Joe Biden can just talk nonsense back and forth to each other out at Shady Acres Retirement Home. You can go out there and just be left to your own devices. Tell all of your imaginary friends about how great. Oh, Patrick Mahomes. All you want. Or if you don't want to do those 2 options, you're fired. Period. Now. You're fired. Now. Period. Point blank. We'll have fucking Chris Sims fill in for you. Or Mike Florio. Or we'll do the right thing and we will pay Greg Olson to come over to NBC because he's being wasted as the B-team broadcast at Fox. But this bag of shit, this dude, and this isn't Cris Collinsworth just exactly everything I don't want to say wrong with, but just kind of encapsulates the whole mentality of that boomer generation. I know more than everybody else. Listen to me refuse to give up my position and my wealth. I'm clearly have mashed potatoes for brains, but people are going to pay me far too much money to talk about Patrick Mahomes. He's done. He's gone. There's absolutely no reason for him to still be doing this, and the fact that we allow these elderly Al Michaels, right? Al Michaels, Cris Collinsworth. Why? Well, maybe this is when the dinosaur old media companies need to look at the reality and go, hey, everybody is switching to streaming and watching live shows. Maybe we should try and get in on that market. Maybe instead of doing the streaming, we need to look and realize that the majority of NFL fan bases don't want this dinosaur fuck talking to them about Patrick Mahomes' tore up knee is equivalent to Marshawn Nealon killing himself. The fuck? The fuck? I guarantee you that whatever Chris Collinsworth is getting paid, let's just take a look. Chris Collinsworth salary. Damn, I cannot spell, y'all. Oh my gosh. Dude, I don't know what to say. Bro, $12.5 million a year. For that? $12.5 million a year for the Patrick Mahomes glaze factory? Bro. I'd do his job for $120,000 a year. Are you fucking kidding me, dude? They pay this dude over $1 million a month. Bro. You have got to be shitting me. Oh, well, he was only making $4 million a year before that. Bro, $12.5 million per year for 4 years. What is that? 4 and 8, or 4 and 2 is 8. 4 and 1 is 4. $48.5 million, more than that. $50 million? He's going to make $50 million to go, oh, look at that. Patrick Mahomes. Are you fucking kidding me, man? Are you fucking kidding me? I can't afford to buy a fucking house. I can't afford to get married. I can't afford to have fucking kids. But Chris Collinsworth makes $12.5 million a year for that product. This is the shit I'm talking about, man. This is the shit I'm talking about. Overpaid for slop. 12.5. I can't talk about it anymore. Shout out Rick C. There are definitely much better options that do it for much less. Yeah, dude, there are hundreds of people on YouTube doing it for fucking free. Like, god damn, bro. Are you shitting me? $12.5 million a year? We are a society of fucking idiots. Oh my gosh. Y'all made Hawk Tua girl famous. Chris Collinsworth gets $12.5 million a year. Candace Owens made about roughly $200,000 a fucking episode of her podcast. But I'm over here using Upside, dude. Yeah, let's go. Give me that 1% cash back on my purchases. The fuck, man? So fucking disenchanting, you know? Like, it's just so demoralizing to see that. Seriously? Maybe I'm old school, guys. Maybe I'm dumb. Chat, let me know. Am I dumb? Is $12.5 million not worth high-end product? Is earning $12.5 million a year, is that just like worth middling product? Like if I just barely applied myself in my craft, I should be expected to make $12.5 million a year working part fucking time, basically getting paid to travel around the U.S. and get paid part fucking time. And what credentials? Yeah, I seen you shout out American Boxer. Yeah, you said you seen him play for the Bengals back when he was in high school. What credentials? Wow, you had 417 catches for 6,000 yards and 36 touchdowns in 107 games over 8 seasons. Amon-Ra did that in like 2 years. So Cris Collinsworth was what? He made it to 2 Super Bowls. Is he in the Hall of Fame? Not with those kind of numbers. 3 Pro Bowls. 1 first-team All-Pro in 1983. So the game is so far beyond your comprehension at this point. Homeboy's over here trying to analyze the wing T. No wonder he likes Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes throws it along the line of scrimmage a lot, or they do that little shuttle pass. It's what he's used to. Of course he likes Patrick Mahomes. It's familiarity. Vertical passing attacks weird him the fuck out. $12.5 million a year. You got to be shitting in me, dude. Not shitting me, shitting in me. You got to be shitting in me that he makes that much money. Fucking ass. What a fucking clown, dude. We live in clown world. Yeah, so the Lions are going to send questions about the, they're going to say, hey, NFL, you fucked us. And the NFL is just going to go, mm-hmm. And? What else is new? This is your role, Detroit. Both as a professional franchise and as a city. You are the punching bag. Well, we don't want you to succeed. Nobody likes you. Well, the metrics, the viewership, the fandom, the way that we show up to other team stadiums might prove otherwise, but we don't like that. You, Detroit, showed up to Arrowhead a couple of years ago on the season opening game on Thursday Night Football with Patrick Mahomes and Cris Collinsworth, right? And remember, we didn't only just win that game. No, though the Chiefs lost that game. Remember, that game came with an asterisk because Chris Jones wasn't playing. Brian Branch didn't have a pick 6 in his debut game as a rookie against Patrick Mahomes in their banner unveiling. All right. Ever since that game, Dan's inability to bend the knee to the narrative around the NFL, his unabashed honesty, his transparency with his emotions. The NFL doesn't like that. They don't like that. Fall in line. Fall in line. Do what you're told. We've been indoctrinating you with this since grade school. Don't ask questions. Take the paper, pass it down. Take the paper, pass it down. It's break time. Oh, we meant recess. Listen for the bell. Come on now. Fall in line, Dan Campbell. Fall in line, Dan Campbell. That's what they want. Dan Campbell ain't going to do that. Personally, that's why I like Dan Campbell. I feel a lot of kinship with him. And unfortunately, that means you are walking uphill every fucking day. So the Lions will contact the National Football League offices about the controversial ruling made during the Los Angeles Rams game. Tight end Colby Parkinson, touchdown stood, even though the replay footage indicated his knee was down prior to reaching the end zone, and he never had possession of the ball. But hey, what do I know? I cannot believe my lying eyes. Dan Campbell reiterated Monday afternoon with local reporters that he was told by officials was the call made on the field of a touchdown grab stood. No, I mean, we're going to ask about it. Hey, this is, it's like I said last night, the call stands. That was as good as I got. They got no actual explanation. All they got was, it was a touchdown. Was there a pool report about this? I didn't see any news about a pool report about this. Lions Rams game pool report. Get out of here. No way. Here we go. Here we go, Mr. Baranka over on X. Was there truly no pool report today after the Lions-Rams NFL game? If so, can you please explain why that would be? Oh. With, of course, no response. I mean, he even tried to get Dave Burkett in on it. Huh. Do we know? Was there no Lions games, Rams game pool report? Holy shit. It appears there was no official pool report from referee Alan Eck immediately after the recent December 14th, 2025 Rams game regarding a specific controversial touchdown call. The lack of post-game pool report led to confusion and speculation among fans. One reporter even posted a sarcastic fake pool report to highlight the lack of information. Wow. Greg Wolstead highlighted discrepancies between the referees set on the field. The absence of an immediate official explanation. Dude, there was no pool report? Oh, hang on. Dude, Carey. 100%, bro. 100%, dude. Is this pumping gas? Oh. Bro, where the hell did that tweet go? I was just going to keep rerouting back to his Twitter. Not the actual tweet. What, he delete it? He deleted it. Oh, that's probably the fake one that they were talking about. Yeah, interesting, guys. Very interesting. Why no pool report, guys? Why no pool report? MCDC, but just once I'd like to see him stand up there and say, we got fucked. Take the fine. Yeah, dude. Yes, dude. Yes. Just have him go up there and be like, yeah, we got fucked. So this is interesting. Why no pool report after the Lions or Rams game? Oh, get out of here. No reporter present at the game requested one? Okay. Must formally request a pool report from the NFL's media contact. No way. Those policy that has, quote, never declined a pool report request. How to file a pool report. NFL. File a media member at the game. Oh, you have to be a media member? Request it from a Pro Football Writers of America PFWA pool report for a specific rules interpretation, who then notifies the home team's PR and the league. The league then facilitates the interview with a referee who transcripts. But why the home team's PR? Oh, probably because they're on site. What defines a media member? The member has questions about a specific rule. Locate one of the assigned at the game. They cover each team. I feel poor. How long after a game can I request a Pool report NFL. You must request immediately after the game, usually through telling them you need it is not automatically given. It must be triggered by media. Why didn't any of our why didn't any Detroit Lions media beat reporters in LA for the Lions Rams game? Nolan Bianchi, Richard Silva, and columnist John Neo, likely from the Detroit Free Press, covering the loss, sending updates from the West Coast. Okay, so we had guys there. Dude, the Detroit Free Press and the Detroit News were there. Why didn't these guys, according to AI, why didn't Nolan Bianchi, Richard Silva, or John Neo request a pool report on that call? What the fuck, dude? Yeah, I thought Brent, I thought that the pool reports were mandatory too. This is some type. I don't want to sound like that guy, y'all. This is some type of fuckery, dude. This is some type of fuckery. I smell a cover up, dude. Y'all notice let the video play left after you let the video play yesterday. Yeah, you noticed that, Rick? Hey, man, look, well, that's fine. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I know that I'm right about this touchdown thing. Okay, I know that I'm right. I'm not going to not believe. I believe my lying eyes, okay? I know that I'm right. And just some people need to see the video. And some people need to see it broken down step by step by step by step. Because some people don't see things the way I see things, the way you see things. You know what I'm saying? And it's not to poo-poo anybody, but, you know, if I got to kind of hold your hand and walk you through it a little bit, we can, you know. If you guys want to check me out on Twitter, someone shared a picture and I retweeted it where they can show the angle of the ball and, like, his knee and the goal line and everything and how it's broken down really well. But back to this pool report. Does this not seem weird, guys? Hang on. Let's go deeper. Let's get a little deeper. Yeah, let's do this. He's not active on Twitter. He's not active on Twitter. Okay. Bianchi's not active on Twitter. Let's go and... yeah, that's incomplete 99.9% of the time. That's incomplete all day long. What was that? I'm sorry. Were they told not to request a pool? Brent, that's what I want to know, bro. You see what I'm getting at, guys? You see what I'm getting at? January, February, October, August. Why isn't he tweeting actively either? Interesting. Why are these guys not active on Twitter? The only way that we can reach out and contact them. Oh my gosh. You know what I should do? I should call. I've got today off. I should call the Detroit Free Press and request a statement on why there was no pool report request from Nolan Bianchi, Richard Silva, or John Neo. That's weird, man. It's just... I caught him. Thanks, American Boxer. Maybe we did, dude, because this is just weird, man. November 2022, September 2020, 2022. None of these guys are active on Twitter, dude. This isn't right, man. Something's weird. Yeah, I mean, he's writing articles yesterday. Huh. Is this weird? Y'all, is this fucking... Am I the only one that's weirded out by this? Yo, I smell a cover-up, man. Because, look... To file an NFL pool report, a media member at the game, so they had to be at the game. That's why we looked up those specific guys, right? Because it says right here, a media member at the game must request it from a Pro Football Writers of America, PFWA, pool reporter, specifying the rule interpretation question which triggers the home team's PR to distribute the official explanation from the referee after the game. It's a media-initiated process to get clarification on controversial calls, not something a fan or regular person can file directly file, requiring media access and an association with the PFWA. Okay. How to get PFWA credentials? PFWA of America media passes or a pregnant work. All right, Pro Football Writers of America. Individual employed by media organization of general circulation, which regularly assigns reporters to cover professional football, including following a reporter assigned to cover professional football, a sports editor, assistant sports editor, or head of a sports desk, a regular sports columnist, or anyone. Well, I am a reporter who regularly covers professional football. I do all my own editing. I'm my assistant sports editor, and I'm the head of my sports desk. Anyone certified by his or her sports editor as a football specialist who is not otherwise specified in this section. Any individual who does not qualify under Section 31A may be granted membership. He or she is an employee or a weekly newspaper or news magazine which covers professional football on a regular basis, and the applicant is assigned to such coverage. He or she is an employee of a daily newspaper or specialized circulation which regularly assigns reporters to cover professional football. He or she is a sports editor or regular columnist of a daily newspaper. He or she is an employee, editor, or owner of a website which specializes in professional football. I am both the editor and owner, of my content. He or she is a writer of a media enterprise, and the applicant is primarily responsible for covering. Yeah, I meet 7 and I meet 1. Any individual who is employed by a professional football league or any of its teams or any media entity owned by said league. Huh. Yo, should I fill this out? Should I submit to be a PFWA member? That way I can file pool reports? We call the entire bookies card for $20. Bet at your own risk, dude. Yeah, no, Brent, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy theory, but something's fucking weird, right? NFL is setting Rodgers up for the first ballot Hall of Fame snub. Yeah, they are. Stafford wins MVP in the Super Bowl. Both retire after this year. Stafford finally gets the better of Aaron Rodgers. Ew, gross, dude. Rick, that's. God damn it, you're probably right though. Y'all. This is weird, right? I'm not the only one who like. Am I feeling weirded out by this? Am I alone? Something feels fucking weird, man. Journal be a from a major outlet. Apply through your assigning editor via the team's NFL media portal like NFLmedia.com. Demonstrate history of consistent NFL team coverage. Yo, should I apply for media credentials as well? I'm an established journalist from a major outlet, YouTube. Apply through your assigning editor, me, to the team's media portal. And demonstrate a history of consistent NFL team coverage, which I do Monday through Friday, to secure game-by-game or season passes. As a freelancer, small outlets are generally not credentialed. We'll define small outlet. Technically, I'm a investigative journalist for the NFL that works for YouTube, right? They hand out media credentials like candy. What's up, Detroit City? How you doing, man? Global elites are trying to turn off the freaking Detroit Lions. Gay. Yeah, they are. What's up, Derek, bro? Trust me, anybody can get it. I know, dude, but like, I'm just confused. Mr. Detroit City, shout out, brother. I don't know if you've been here all morning, but we're trying to figure out why there was no pool report filed because a member of the media has to request it, and nobody did. And then we looked up Nolan Bianchi, Richard Silva, and John Neo, all from the Detroit Free Press, were at the game. And Tori Petrie? Who's Tori Petrie? Warning sports broadcaster. She was doing sideline stuff. So why didn't she ask it? Do it. Do it. What's up, A? How you doing, bro? How you doing, man? Do it. Do it. All right, Tori. Where were you last active? January 2024. Why aren't these journalists active on Twitter? I'm sorry, but shouldn't they be like more active on Twitter? Just my take on it. So the reporters representing the Lions at the game that had the ability to file or request a pool report on the touchdown, Nolan Bianchi, Richard Silva, John Neo, and Tori Petrie, all four of them failed to do their simple jobs surrounding one of the most controversial calls in the history of the NFL. All four of you should be ashamed to call yourself journalists. You pathetic fucking grifters. This is why people don't trust the fucking media. This is why people don't fucking like you goddamn assholes. You live at just high enough of a level to not worry about our fucking opinions, to look at us like the fucking scourge, like the fucking slop. But yet, when you have it within your ability to at least shine some light on the confusing darkness that surrounds this call, all four of you were too busy enjoying the sunny LA weather, too busy doing God knows what out there to do your fucking job, to ask the simple question that not only the Lions fan base, but the majority of the NFL fandom wants to know. Why? How? Explain that to me. And all four of you refuse to do your fucking job. How fucking pathetic. And even more coincidentally, all four of you are dead on Twitter. You're unattainable, have an inability to contact you. There is no way that I can tweet at you to shine public light on it other than this video right here. And I want to know why. I want to know why the four of you were too busy fuck-assing around, playing slap and tickle with some fucking asshole out there in LA, surrounded by the sunny, the warm weather, the food, the good shit out there. You were too busy playing slap and tickle than to do your fucking job because you're fucking compliant with it. You're just as fucking compliant and complacent as all the rest of the fucking elites, and this is why people do not like your kind. You're lazy. You're overpaid. You're pathetic. You're fucking grifters. You get paid an insane amount of money by comparison to the majority of Americans to do a half-ass fucking job. And I'm holding you accountable, you cuck little bastards. God damn. So fucking lame, dude. You have uncovered an NFL conspiracy. My girlfriend doesn't understand it, but she has a Kansas City Chiefs fan. Ah, yes, the Chiefs fans are probably going to be one of the last fandoms to open their eyes to the what's going on here. What's goody? Yeah, what's up? Hey, quick. How you doing, man? What I noticed is that to win the Super Bowl, you have to beat the final you have to beat the final boss, Roger Goodell, in his final form. That's what we do in Cali. Play slap and tickle. Sometimes find the pickle. Derek, that's funny, dude. Nicely done. Failure to request an explanation on a questionable game-changing call means you failed at your job. Yes, Brent. That's what I'm saying. Isn't the free press supposed to be the fourth column, the third rail, the sobering containment that keeps everything in check? We have a free press so that we can ask the hard questions. What it means is that journalism, and we have all known that. The majority of us in Mad Hatter Nation have known that journalism has been dead, well, really since probably 9/11. Journalism's dead. Operation Mockingbird controls the narrative on 99% of the things. And as we can see with these shitbag journalists, oh, God, how, like, seriously, you guys have the fucking gall to go and ask or call yourselves journalists? Oh, is that publicly disclosed? Just trying to figure out how much these assholes are making. More than me. More than me. That's just bullshit. You should be ashamed of yourselves to call yourselves journalists. You had one job. One job to do. You had one job to do. And you failed. You failed. Maybe, just maybe, they didn't have access to the ref, not sticking up for him, but it's a possibility. Jay, you're not necessarily wrong, but here's the thing. You don't access the ref, so to file an NFL pool report, you have to request it from a Pro Football Writers of Association pool reporter, specifically the rule interpretation request, which triggers the home team's PR to distribute the official explanation from a referee after the game. It's a media-initiated process to get clarification on controversial calls, not something a fan or regular person can do. So they have to, one of those reporters has to request it from a PFW pool reporter, which are at the game. But you can't just they don't ask the ref directly. They ask one of the PFW pool reporters, who then contacts the home team's PR, who then contacts, well, really the NFL, so they can get their story straight, so that it's all a unanimous Operation Mockingbird talking point. The point is that nobody even apparently tried. And considering how controversial the call is, you would almost think the NFL would take it upon themselves to show transparency. And since they then also refused to acknowledge that, yes, this is a little bit murky, they didn't say anything. They made no attempt to clarify, to calm the waters. They just said, pack it up, get on the bus, get the fuck out of there, boys. You know what I'm saying? It just seems really shifty, dude. It just seems really, really shifty, bro. Bull hat, there's some suppressing or paying off. Exactly, dude. Exactly. Yeah, dude, Mr. Trade said kids can change their genders, but they can't change a damn call. What happened, America? Goodell is nothing more than an overpriced puppet. You got that right. You're blaming the puppet for the puppet master. He does not run the NFL. Rick, you are right. He is paid by the owners, dude. He is paid by the owners, and I'm sure that they are more than willing, at least some of the good teams, to cut him a little bit of a bonus, you know. Now, look, if Sheila would just send him a picture of her titties, then maybe it'd be all good, but who knows, man. I didn't know how it worked, so yes, they effed up by not asking. No, you're good, Jay. You're good, dude. We talked about it probably a few minutes before you showed up, dude. We're trying to go through this, trying to figure out exactly why, dude. So I appreciate you asking questions, dude. There's nothing wrong with that, brother. I appreciate it, dude. You're good. You are totally good. Yeah, I don't know, man. That's weird. And the thing is like this isn't going to go nowhere. It's not like this is going to get pushed. I'm going to be honest. How many other people do you think are going to ask this question? Nobody's going to ask about the pool report. Nobody's going to do. This took, 10, 15 minutes of digging? Nobody's going to dig. No one's going to try. But I might today try and file for a PFW pool report. See if I can become a PFW or a PFWA. How wild would that be if I could get it and then I could initiate the pool report process myself? That'd be wild as hell. But some fuckery is clearly afoot, you guys. Well, we're going to be going a little long today, guys. Dan Campbell gives hopeful update on Amik Robertson. He's got a hand injury. The Lions came out of the game in Los Angeles relatively unscathed, except for Robertson. On Monday, Campbell provided an update on Robertson, and it appears pretty optimistic. After getting an MRI, Campbell is hopeful that Robertson can play this week, but it'll depend on Robertson's progress and how went out on the practice field. What do you guys think about that? Because at least historically this year, they are not giving us, Kirby, Laporta, who the fuck else did I list? I don't know. Oh, Kirby, Laporta, Amon-Ra's magical recovery from the sprained ankle. The injury stuff is just, I don't know, man. Hopefully he'll be able to go. I'm hopeful, Campbell said, but then again, we know it'll probably be in the next couple of days. Detroit is already a tad light at cornerback with TA season is over after undergoing shoulder surgery. Enos the Penis Rakestraw Breakstraw has been out the entire year with a shoulder injury, and now they've only got DJ Reed back after he missed 6 games with a hamstring injury. That left the Lions with the play Rock Ya-Sin, and after Robertson went down, we also have Khalil Dorsey, Arthur Mollett, and Nick Whiteside available at depth. Robertson has been Detroit's do-it-all cornerback, capable of playing on the outside and in the slot. Well, he hasn't been the best statistical season, allowing a passer rating of, 109.9 when targeted. Per PFF, he remains one of Detroit's most reliable cornerbacks. Smartest kid on the short bus. He also has yet to miss a game since signing with the Lions in 2024. I did not know that, so a little bit of a gritty player, kind of like that. I like Amik Robertson, though this year, I don't know, maybe it's because he's overexposed, but he's getting cooked, man. But so is Reed. And for whatever reason, our cornerback coaching room has just been a turnstile. Last year, I was so high on Dre Bly. That didn't work out. This year, it's probably going to be another rotation through our corners. There's a lot put on our corners. We ask them to go out there and sit on an island in man coverage. And it's a lot easier when you got all everything, interception leading safety since coming into the league. Kirby Joseph back there roaming. It's a lot harder when you don't have that all-pro safety back there as backup. You know what I'm saying? So we're seeing a little bit more of a cookery of our guys. What about the new guys we signed to the practice squad? Find out how fast the hammer shuts you down. Hell yeah, dude. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hey, yeah, with Branch being out too. Who were our reporters again? Brent DeWitt. Good question. So Nolan Bianchi, Richard Silva, John Neo, and Tori Petrie. They are all from the Detroit Free Press, providing post-game analysis and coverage from the stadium. Tori Petrie was handling sideline reports for the broadcast. So Nolan Bianchi, Richard Silva, who just wrote an article yesterday. He's very active for the Detroit Free Press, and John Neo. All 4, though, of these names, you see we went to their Twitters. None of them are very active on Twitter. Not a lot of ways to engage them. Might have to go as far as to contact the Detroit Free Press itself, requesting some type of a comment or something along those lines. I don't know how to do that. I've never done investigative journalism. So this is all very, very new to me. But guys, is my tinfoil hat on too tight right now? I just think we might be uncovering some type of fuckery here. You know what I'm saying? If Rakestraw isn't healthy and on the field next season, he's officially a bust. Brent, I think Rakestraw is already a bust, dude. You'll find out how fast the hammer shuts you down. Good morning. Better late than never. What's up, Mom? How you doing? Staying warm out there. We are doing some digging into the fuckery around the controversial call yesterday. If you guys are just joining us, we are trying to kind of figure out. So to initiate, you guys have heard us talk about the pool report, and that is the post-game report about any controversial calls that might have happened so that the NFL and the refs can give a lockstep statement on what they've seen and why they went with that call. Traditionally, this happens after every game. At least that's kind of what we thought, that it was a initiated process. But we did a little bit of digging here, and just with a cursory Google search to file an NFL pool report, a media member at the game must request it from a Pro Football Writer of America, who is part of the pool report. A Pro Football Writers of America pool reporter specifying the rule interpretation in question, which triggers the home team's PR distribution of the official explanation. And so then we asked, well, who were the media members at the game? Because that's a very specific turn, right? That's taking away. So hypothetically, even though Tim 20-Man, Dave Burkett, these are well-established senior writers, if they're not at the game, at least according to this very, a pool media member at the game, so they have to be on site to ask the question from a specific PFWA pool reporter that triggers a series of events that leads to the pool report. So we asked ourselves, who was at the game? What reporters? Detroit Lions beat reporters in LA for the Lions-Rams game. According to Google's AI interview for the recent Lions-Rams game on December 25th, key reporters covering the team in LA include Nolan Bianchi, Richard Silva, John Neo, and Tori Petrie. They're all from the Detroit Free Press. None of them initiated the protocol to start a pool report. We then decided to do just a little bit of investigation of these four individuals and found that their social media presence in terms of the public square, your easiest access to engage with them directly, that being X Twitter, they've all been pretty much ghosted from there since late last year. So it's a little odd, a little strange, kind of confused as to, this being one of, if not the most egregious and controversial call in the last 5 years, if not the last 10 years, bordering on the last quarter millennium. Why you didn't ask a very simple question that all reporters should ask. It is a questionable call. We need clarification, and it is your job as a reporter to ask the question. Now, if you guys don't have the spinal fortitude or the testicular integrity to ask these questions, that's fine. Get out of the way. Take Cris Collinsworth with you down to the unemployment line. There are infinite numbers of people, myself included, who will do it for much less than the $12.5 million guys like Cris Collinsworth are getting paid. I'll happily do it for a little bit more than I'm making now and just walk up to those assholes and go, hey, fucknut, explain it to me like I'm a dumbass. You know what I'm saying? Like, where were they? Where were they on this stuff, guys? It's just... what's up, Motown? How you doing? Got tomorrow's poll for you rigged. Is the NFL? Or you lack brain cells? Hell yeah, Motown. You see it too, huh? Yeah, dude. Yeah, America, there's a Wizard of Oz, dude. There's a Wizard of Oz. Every time Tom Brady hosts, we lose. Oh. Hey. You're not wrong. Tom Brady, he be out there. And every time he's on camera firing piss missiles, we always lose. You're not wrong, dude. That's fucking weird. That is very bizarre. That is very bizarre. All right, guys, so we're going to shift some gears a little bit while we bookend the show, talking about some college prospects and the breaking news or the big news around the college sphere as far as prospects in the draft, which is going to be coming up here soon. We're going to be shifting gears, talking about the NFL draft here real soon. Arch Manning remains hooked. The Texas quarterback will return to the Longhorns in 2026. According to his father, ending speculation about the rising junior's future. Arch is playing football at Texas next year, Cooper Manning told ESPN on Monday, with Texas officials saying the expectation was that he would return for another season. Arch, the nephew of Peyton and Eli, and the grandson of Archie, was said to be mulling entering the 26th draft, something Texas coach Steve Sarkisian didn't believe he was ready for just yet. I don't either. I don't think now would be the time. And now, personally, for the past 10 years, I have been more of the belief of, look, if you are getting a day 1, day 2 kind of a cusp, if you're getting a top 40 grade, right, on big boards, and you're a junior, you have little to no benefit of returning for your senior year. The odds of injury, much higher. Odds of tanking your draft stock due to bad play in your senior year, or even being on a bad team where you're still playing relatively well, puts infinitely more pressure on you to perform well so that you can overcome the bad team. If you can strike while the iron's hot, I am of the belief that you strike while the iron's hot. However, I personally have never been overly impressed with what I have seen out of Arch Manning. Clearly, Steve Sarkisian also believes that. And I think the majority of Americans trust their lion eyes when they see Arch Manning. He is good, but not great. He could use a whole nother year of polish, especially when we look at how the NFL is so much farther ahead in their development of players, the speed of the game, and what they're expected to digest, process, and execute week to week as compared to the college level. A lot of that has to do with being under center versus the shotgun. And shout out Brett Coleman. Maybe one of these days we'll watch his breakdown of it. He had a really good video breaking down the retardation of the collegiate quarterback versus the professional quarterback. So knowing all of the growth and development from the collegiate to the professional level, at least historically amongst college quarterbacks, Arch Manning's probably doing the absolute best thing he can do. Continue to polish, continue to build, because you're already going to be playing at a significantly from behind than where, say, your uncles were when they entered the league. Now, when you enter the league, take this year, polish up, get good, increase your draft stock, and you could be staring down the barrel of a number 1 overall pick. Do I think quarterbacks should be going number 1 overall? Not anymore. Not anymore. I think you should be building through the trenches. Defense wins championship. Offensive line should be your top 5 picks in the NFL draft. They are, at least in my opinion, the easiest transition from the collegiate level to the professional level, as well as the biggest foundationary pieces any franchise can put in place to rebuild, retool, reload, recalibrate, and re-engage. You know what I'm saying? So shout out Arch Manning, making, in my opinion, the right decision. All right, we'll quickly skim through A to Z's 7-round mock draft. Clearly, I have today off, which is why we're going long. But no more of the long shows after today, guys, because today's my last day off. I got to lock in for, I got to do 7 straight leading right into the holiday. We're leading right into Christmas, right? And those 7 days are going to be quite the Advent, quite the season of Advent for me, but I'm going to knuckle down, get through these 7 straight, and then it'll be the holiday season. And I'm going to get fat, and that's a fact. 7-round Detroit Lions NFL mock draft is incredibly clear. Let's go. They got us sitting at number 17. The Detroit Lions are hanging on by a thread, and it's a pretty solid thread, but threads nonetheless. We've learned much about this team the last few weeks. Let's take a look. First-round pick, number 17 overall, Caden Proctor, offensive tackle from Alabama. We don't know what Pause. I don't like that A to Z Sports just plays videos. Know that Taylor Decker will do, but the word retirement is coming off his lips. If the Lions need to find their next left tackle, they don't have to stray far away from the school they love picking from, the school Brad Holmes went to again this season. Having Caden Proctor is like having Penei Sewell on both sides of the line. Proctor is not only a good left tackle, but he is also an athlete in every sense of the word. If you want a guy downfield run blocking and keeping up with Jahmyr Gibbs, it's this guy. He just fits so well. Someone we can keep an eye on. The 49th pick, Jake Slaughter from Florida, a center. I know the Lions have discussed moving Tater Ratledge to center, but they should reconsider that, in my opinion. The Lions have shown promise on the interior with Ratledge, Mahogany, and Frazier. They might even find a way to just have those 3 guys as their interior moving forward, but I think it's going to get a career center that has played well in the SEC is the way to go. Jake Slaughter is that guy. Plus, his name is Slaughter. You guys, it's just a fit. Yep, that'd be pretty cool. Slaughter next to Ratledge. In the 3rd round, we got Bobakar Bobakar Terror. Traor? Bobakar Traor? Trogdor. Bubakar Trogdor. Trogdor! Burninating the countryside. Trogdor! Let's go. What can I say? I'm high on this kid, and that's why I keep mocking him to the Lions. Then because the Lions keep sending scouts to Notre Dame. Trogdor finished the season with 31 pressures and 10 sacks. He could be a missing link opposite Hutch and has some of the athletic makeup to match. I just see him as a better option to win one-on-ones than Al-Qadim Muhammad. You still have to hold on to AQM, though, 100%. I'd keep him around for at least 2 more years. Going to take the safety out of Alabama, Keon Saab. I'm going to 92 Saab. Look, it's not that I think Kirby's Joseph career is over. So many on the internet do right now, despite knowing next to nothing about the injury. It's that the team needs better depth at safety. If Brian Branch misses a decent amount of time next season, the team needs some help. The former Michigan Wolverine turned Alabama starter is just what the doctor ordered for solid depth. Then we're going to go Christian Gray, a corner out of Notre Dame. Sure, go ahead. Oscar Delp, a tight end out of Georgia. Just real quick, guys. There was a tight end that I wanted us to take at the back end of the draft. Bills tight end depth. And the guy that I want us to take at the back end of the draft, I've been watching him play meaningful snaps, and boy, would that not be absolutely nice for us to have right now, considering our tight end room has been eviscerated, and we're relying on guys like, what's his name there? Jackson Hawes. Here we go. Shane Zylstra and Anthony Fursker. This is the guy I wanted us to draft in the 6th round last year. Jackson Hawes, dude. Oh, man, he's actually playing pretty solid. I mean, not a lot of, but you can see, 10 catches on 12 targets for 130 yards. That's not a lot, but he's playing behind 2 top-end tight ends. I just kind of feel like this would have been a perfect solution right now for us, considering the boat that we're in. And now we don't, we can grandma wagon this argument all that we want. But it's one of those things where it's like, yeah, I remember watching that guy. I was high on him during the draft process, and boy, it'd be nice to have him right now. But they got us taking Oscar Delp out of Georgia. I saw the opportunity to trade up and took it. I saw the Vikings, blah, blah, blah. Find a really solid tight end who can help the Lions get in on 3 straight tight end crazes that's happening right now, and maybe even replace Block Wrong. Let's go. I kind of like that. You guys know that I like David Bailey out of Texas Tech in the 1st round. But Caden Proctor, I've actually heard his name pop a couple of times. People just talk about some of the better offensive linemen in the draft. And this guy's got a pretty good high score as far as early grades in the process. I'm not mad about it. Let's take one last look. We'll take one last stroll here through Mad Hatter Nation while the bird man, Chris Collinsworth, stares on with his ever-loving Patrick Mahomes eyes. You'll notice every time Tom Brady. In 2023, all of our losses were hosted by Greg Olson. In 25, it's Tom Brady. That shit is more than a coincidence. Damn, Rick. Fox does not ever like us to win on... Because if it's going to... In 23, if Greg Olson was calling it, it was Fox game, America's Game of the Week, right? And when Brady calls it, they call the top game. It's Fox's Game of the Week. Weird. Interesting. I'm just noticing patterns. That's all. It's just pattern recognition. It's something that humans are very, very good at. Daniel McCarthy's living proof. Daniels, McCarthy. Yes, dude. Hell yeah. This might be back Friday. Rick, dude, shout out, brother. I appreciate it, dude. I know you had a big week coming up, bro. I genuinely hope that everything goes swimmingly for you, bro, and you get... I hope that you get the answers that you need, as well as the tools and a plan for you guys to succeed. I have all the faith in the world, dude, that you're going to be able to handle this, no problem, lickety-split, and hopefully you get everything you need, brother. You know what I'm saying? Need edge, center, tackle, safety, tight end. Hey, yeah, Kerry, you're not wrong, dude. You're not wrong. You are not wrong, guys. So that's going to be it for today, y'all. We talked about some things and some stuff and some stuff and some things. Real quick, though, chat. Do you like it a little bit more chatty, a little less? The only way that I can see myself continuing on doing NFL content is in this style of format, where it's just a little bit more chatty, a little bit more just hanging out, man. I'm still really pissed off about that Colby Parkinson touchdown, and I think I always will be. I think that ranks right up there with the didn't complete the process. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's just certain things that I will never get over, I've just been the whipping boy for the top teams beat up on the national television. Yes, Kane, we are the Washington Generals for the NFL. We are allowed to have a little bit of hype and be a contender. Right? We're allowed to be a contender, and we're going to put you on the main stage in front of the Harlem Globetrotters. And hey, you might be able to win. You never know. You could win, right? You're not gonna, but you could. Hey, at least you're on television. At least you're at the dance, right? Hey, everybody's seeing you. Hey, come a long way since we had our games blacked out. Y'all remember those days? Couldn't even watch the fucking Lions. I distinctly remember one of the first times we had a blackout game was right after we traded Roy Williams to the Dallas Cowboys, because that following game, that blackout game, we got blacked out, and then we were forced to watch the Dallas Cowboys with Roy Williams. And I actually called the NFL office and complained. Like, I actually looked up and called the NFL offices, like they're just like customer service or like PR line, and just complained about how absolutely like offensive it was that not only was the game blacked out, which I can understand, but then the game you force us to watch is the guy that we just traded away. Like, come on, like that was just fucked up. I like this form. I think many of us won't get over the crap call. I think you're right, Mom. I think this is one of them that's just going to live with us forever, and it's just another. It just sucks having to be a Lions fan, because it's just always the same shit, dude. It's just always the same thing. And it just gets fucking annoying after a while, As we make the games just interesting enough, but we basically have been a get right game. Yeah, Kane. Yeah, you're not wrong, dude. You're not wrong. Unfortunately, it wasn't enough for the Chefs, but my theory around the Chefs is the NFL, they fell out of favor. The NFL wanted to spend more of their resources making Giggle Williams the face of the NFL, not so much Patrick Mahomes. Also, you see it with both the Chefs and the Eagles. So many runs back to back to back like that, you're going to get gassed out. I did see an interesting guy's take on Reddit, and in order to buy into this, you have to suspend belief. You have to acknowledge that it's entertainment, but try to ignore the fact that it's scripted, and just you have to just plug your nose and jump and pretend that it's real, right? But the guy's take on Reddit was, good teams ebb and flow periodically. The Lions are still a good team. It's just you're not 15-2 this year, and the expectations were really, really high. Personally, I do feel that we have failed to meet expectations. If we wanted to meet expectations, David Montgomery would have over 1,000 rushing yards right now. Tell me I'm wrong. Right? David Montgomery, if everything was the way that it should be, and we were not being, kneecapped or hobbled in any capacity by some power that be, if we're just going to suspend disbelief, David Montgomery, we would be we'd only have 4 losses, maybe 3 losses. But David Montgomery would be over 1,000 yards right now. We'd use him the way that we're supposed to be using him, but it's just weird, man. It's just weird. It's all weird. Right now, I think this season we've been anointed the Washington Generals. I think that was our role to play this year, is that we're the Washington Generals. So, do the best you can. Tomorrow's Wednesday, which means it'll be hump day, so we're going to hip thrust our way into Wednesday before doing a couple of slaloms down into the weekend. Guys, try and have yourself a good rest of the day. Stay out of trouble. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. We'll be right back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Make sure you got the notification bell turned on. Subscribe to the channel. Like this video. Share it around. If you think about it, come back tomorrow and drop a hype on this video or something. I don't know. We're trying to grow. 7 carries for Monty last game was ridiculous. Yes, it was, because there were 7 very effective carries. Montgomery was doing David Montgomery things. The reason that we like him, Rick, best of luck, my guy. If you're back Friday, that's awesome. If not, we totally understand, brother. Hopefully everything turns out for you. Plumb, level, and square. We'll be back here at 10 a.m. tomorrow. I've been Hattenbeard. You've been attentive audience. Until then, bonga bonga. Frig off.